Good morning, Prof. How are you doing this morning?
Extremely well, thank you very much.
Great. Now, Prof, I see that you've just been honored. You've just been given an honorary doctorate. Just tell us a bit about this honor and how you feel about it this morning.
Well, obviously, I'm personally thrilled with this honor. It acknowledges now almost 4 decades of work at the local level. But it really shines a light, I think, on academics who get out into the real world and make a difference. Those who take their science, take it into practice, take it into policy, help protect the planet and help change people's lives. So credit to Rhodes University for acknowledging what I think is the science of the 21st century.
Oh, wow. Now, Prof, let's talk a bit about the work that you do, and particularly let's talk about climate change. We see so much that's going on, particularly in the SADC region, in terms of floods and how it's affecting people that can't really do anything about it themselves. What is the future of these countries, and what can we do to combat climate change and try and stabilize the situation?
Well, as you say, when we talk about climate change, we're not talking about the future. We're talking about the present. So our past patterns of unsustainable development, the consumption of fossil fuels, means that we've heated the global atmosphere, and that changes temperature patterns, it changes rainfall patterns. The city I work in, Durban, was subject to enormous flooding last year, and that event was twice as likely to have happened because of climate change. So it's really undermining the development aspirations of our continent, of our country, and indeed the world, and poses a very real challenge to creating an equitable and just future for generations, both existent and still to come. So it's not a scientific question anymore. It really is a development question that we've got to answer. There's only one way to tackle it. We've got to be ambitious. We've got to leave fossil fuel in the ground. We've got to see a move to renewable energy. And we must have a more equitable world order where we see resources helping people to adapt to changes we can no longer escape.
Prof, you talk about a move to renewable energy. And we find ourselves in a situation where we're confronted by a massive electricity crisis, a shortage in supply of energy. And we are highly reliant on coal-fired power stations. And this move seems to be hindered by bureaucracy and a lot of red tape around it and getting it off the ground. What do you have to say about that, Prof?
Definitely there are challenges, but we are committed to a just energy transition. South Africa is being funded by a number of international players to ensure that we transition from our heavy carbon dependence to an energy system that is focused much more on renewable energies, and that we do that in a way that doesn't disadvantage already the poor and vulnerable. So South Africa is committed. We're one of the first countries to commit to a just energy transition, but it does require a whole of society response. This is a dance that no one can sit out. Every one of us, individuals, households, communities, businesses, government, all need to be pulling together to make this happen.
And now, Prof, what do you have to say to the critics that are just bent on ensuring that we do not move in the direction of procuring green energy, but rather stick to fossil fuels for the generation of energy?
Well, I would say to them that means Africa and South Africa will be left behind, because the DNA of change is already there. It's very clear that the global economy is moving to a greener footing. If we want to be part of that move, if we want to be part of the global economy and be competitive in it, we too need to make those changes. The challenge for us is we come off a lower developmental base. We've got many more people who are living in poverty. So it's not merely about a technical change, and this is what I stress, is climate change is not only about a gas that we can't see and can't smell. It's not only about deploying new technologies. It's about empowering people to come with that change, and in that change, improving people's lives. And that's really the sweet spot for South Africa. We've got the opportunity to show how a transition to a new pattern of energy distribution and transmission can uplift our economy, can make us more competitive, and can in fact address the inequalities that we see in our society.
Thank you, Prof. Now, as a parting shot and away from this subject, Prof, what word of encouragement would you have for the students that were graduating today and were witness to you being honored today for the work that you've done over the past 4 decades?
I would say to the students, if you want to find yourself up on that sort of stage in 4 decades' time, be perseverant, work incredibly hard, never, never, ever give up on your goals and your ambitions, and at all times be brave, because the world is a difficult place. So there's a lot of hard work to be done. Today was the easy bit, today is the celebration, but really tomorrow begins the rest of your lives, and I wish them every success with that.
Prof, thank you very much, and the very best for you as you go on with your endeavors.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Prof. That was Prof Roberts, and I am Judah Malepe for MDN News. Thank you.